Top of the morning, folks and family. So we're here from the Raise the Bar podcast. Myself, Ricky Spencer, one of the 1/3 of the Raise the Bar podcast. We have my brother Bryce Spencer and my brother Roy Spencer. And here our topic today is discuss the meaning of faking it until you make it. Just digging a little deeper as to what exactly that means, a little history on it, and where it came from. And I'd like to take the opportunity to allow my brothers to introduce themselves. So next we have Bryce. Bryce, will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, good morning, world. Thank you for joining us again with the Race Bar podcast. I am 1/3 of this great platform, sharing it with my brothers to, continue having these weekly discussions, topics, and just kind of dissecting and diving into different phrases, meanings, life situations. And as Rick said, we're going to talk and what the meaning of faking it until you make it. What does that consist of? What does that look like? And I have my own thoughts in that regard, and looking forward to sharing those with you guys and passing on to my brother Royce.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Top of the morning. Wanted to, for starters, before we just jump over it, give a special happy birthday, Rick. I know your birthday was earlier this week.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, loved ones. Thank you, fam.
Aging fine like wine. I know what you like 31 now these days. We just gonna kick it off with that. Definitely want to give a big shout out to you on that one. Love you, big bro.
Blessings.
Big blessings. But like you said, we're gonna touch on faking it till you make it today. Got a couple stories, of course. Some good examples of how you can achieve what you have in mind, like your goals or objectives with that process. And I look forward to just learning a little bit from you guys too, because y'all have come a long way over the years. I've watched y'all go from humble in beginnings to now doing really, really well and prosperous. So should have a treat for everybody. So yeah, we can go ahead and get it started. Ready to get it started?
So let's get it started. So I'd like to just start off with a question as we dig into this. And I'll start with myself first. If I could spend my life doing something, what would it be? And honestly speaking, I just enjoy having experiences with other people. So I guess you could say giving to others. And when I say giving to others, I mean healthy time, healthy energy, and just healthy growth. I like to be able to understand people's point of views, what they're going through. Even if they're down, that doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to participate and be involved, but kind of tag team with them to see it in a different way, understand what they're going through. And that is kind of like solving a puzzle, I guess you could say. So it's kind of like you have this riddle, like you feel in this moment you're being victimized for whatever you're experiencing. So how can I partner with you? Because I think you're a valuable person in my life, and I would hope to think that I'm a valuable person in your life. So let's work together to see how we can accomplish this. Or we already have a winning formula. How can we keep this going and continue to grow together to be able to make more money, impact other people's lives, and the things of that nature? And I like to take a moment and pose that question to you guys and let me know and share with us what you would enjoy spending your life doing.
Okay, so like what are some of our passions maybe, or what do you think our gifts are, or
something that just I guess gives you just that feeling of life and joy and something you're passionate about. And no matter what, each day going into that day, you feel you could just do this every day and feel happy and feel grateful for life.
Interesting. Okay, I like that one. Well, I can jump in and answer that question. The first thing that comes to mind for me, what gives me life, what makes me happy, no matter when I'm doing it. I really do enjoy working out. I think not only just working out, but being out in nature. Like if I can go out, go for a run, bike ride, and be outdoors. The two reasons that I really find enjoyment through those activities is one, I think just growing up with you guys, just like running and having my heart racing makes me feel just excited about like being in the moment, your blood flowing. It's just like adrenaline. I guess I'm probably a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, although like I'm not jumping out of airplanes or I don't even like snowboarding. I keep it relatively safe and simple. I do get out and do like a little bit of paddleboarding in open waters, but I keep a life vest and my paddleboard close by. But not only like do I enjoy adrenaline and being outdoors for just the excitement of it, but I also like to just be immersed in nature because there's something about being in the gym. I do it often. I definitely work out in the gym more than I go outdoors just because it's easier to get in and do some weight training. But I find myself like in this kind of process of being a little bit judgmental, not necessarily on other people, but of myself. Because in the gym, you got mirrors everywhere and you're constantly assessing yourself and like, oh, am I getting bigger? Am I getting stronger? Am I stronger than that person or, this person? And I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to avoid that sort of thought process. And when I'm in nature, it's like curiosity all around. Like I'm looking at different plants and trees and bugs, animals, and like I have no idea what most of them are. So it's like I'm trying to keep myself in the thought process of wondering and asking questions because like studies show that people who are curious who have like a constant curiosity are typically solving like challenges that we need to really figure out. So like, we sit down every week and talk about how we can be more impactful in our community. And that kind of helps me be in the mindset of what are some of the problems that I can accomplish or solve with you guys. How can I approach it from a different perspective so that I can start to solve problems in a different way. Like Einstein's famous for the saying, we can't solve problems with the same mindset or the thinking that we created these problems with. So we have to, we have to view things from a different perspective. So I'd say, yeah, that's like really the activity that gives me enjoyment, like exercising out in nature. But that's one of many. I'll throw that out there.
Me, I would say too, being challenging of myself. I like to just to be mentally locked in and pushing myself, and like I feel like when I have this natural competitive nature. Say if I'm working out or trying to eat healthy diet, whatever just anything health related. I like the fact, like I think, like kind of opposite of you. I think I'm more fixated on myself, kind of like I'm because I know, like, hey, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, you can't cheat yourself. Oh, you're not gonna finish out these reps or sets, like what I'm saying, like even if you don't have the energy to maybe handle the weight or do the same intensity or reps, do something, be productive. Don't shortcut, and cheat yourself. So I'm having these mental conversations within my own head, like you only shortcutting yourself. You're only slowing your production and progress down if you take this, escape or not escape, but take this easy way out and kind of
Yep,
say, oh,
shortcuts.
yeah, so I'm like, who am I playing? I'm only playing myself. So I definitely, that's something I enjoy, that kind of drives and motivates me every day, is just to push myself, challenge myself, uh, even like just mentally doing something right. Like I feel like it just puts out even just that much better energy to recirculate back to myself. Another thing I love sharing knowledge and information, just in a realistic way. I like being that person that you could speak to, and you can get information and feedback from me, and trust that it's going to be in a non-judgmental way. It's going to be completely pure and honest, and just give a realistic uh, opinion on things, like not the political correct one, or not the societal norm view or opinion. So I definitely like that. I like sharing knowledge. I think it kind of aligns with the type of work I'm in. I just am constantly teaching and sharing and providing some information. So I think those are some of the main four core motivators and drives that kind of just fuel me every day.
Yep, I like that. No, that's a really good one. I'd second on that. Like collaborating, coming together, and sharing ideas. Definitely enjoy doing that a lot too. Yep. What about
Yeah,
you, Rick? Share with us, man. What's your favorite
I
pastimes?
definitely enjoy the collaboration, the gym time as well. And just a personal preference for me is I try to be my best at some of my most challenging moments, just because I feel in those moments, no one knows that what I'm going through. But I don't really know if it falls in line with fronting until you make it. But if I'm able to shoulder whatever I'm going through personally to the background and not necessarily deal with it in this moment and just be my best self at all times, I feel like I can impact those that I'm around in a more powerful way. Because as people, we all going through our own circumstances.
Yes,
And with
indeed.
that being said, I need to be mindful of being my best self, because if I provide you with all the information up front, now I'm allowing you to be your best self. But if I'm worrying about my ego and how I need to present myself to be because I have this title, I need to look a certain way and it needs to go my way because I have this title, am I providing you with enough information to be your best self? Or am I providing you with enough information to make me look good? And I
Mhm.
feel that just as a leader, I need to be mindful of that just to kind of understand how am I helping us as a group look good as opposed to just making myself look good. And so I just try to just be mindful and understanding of that, that let's focus on us collaborating together to achieve this goal as opposed to me doing all the work to make it look like, oh, all this work was put in to achieve this, but look who did the work. Was it just myself or was it all of us? You had an integral part in this role. You put forth this information. You're able to achieve, find these resources, and we all are able to collaborate, put it together to achieve the outcome. And I really take pleasure in having an opportunity to engage in different moments like that.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely like that. What excites me about the collaboration piece, like thinking about what we're doing here, coming together every week, having these conversations, talking about high level strategies and the different approaches that we can take to accomplish our goals. Not only like are we consistently making this happen, but I'm seeing the results of it with like each and every one of us. And it's just a reminder like we are on to something and we are sharing some valid and valuable resources, like not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that. But I really think that over time, it doesn't even matter if like we'll have more followers or more views and people commenting and sharing what they think. You know, I just know like even the children that we haven't had and the little ones that aren't necessarily here and ready to, take on these sort of strategies, it's gonna be here waiting on them when they get there. Like that's what excites me the most. Like we're so far ahead. We're like really playing this game of chess in life. Like we are 10 steps ahead right now. So that really like wakes me up. Like I'm ready to roll. It's 7 o'clock in the morning when we're recording. Let's do it on a Saturday. Let's make it happen. And yeah, like I really think that this topic is so crucial because a lot of people just misinterpret the faking it till you make it. And a good example of taking this approach is like when I was playing football in college. Like I went to a relatively small school in Oregon, and like it was in Western, or I went to Western Oregon University. It's not University of Oregon. It's not Oregon State. It's not one of those big, you know, world renowned universities that like are constantly in the Pac-12 championship, trying to win the national championship. But we still had a great opportunity to travel around the country. We played some teams in Canada. Like I'm grateful for my experience, and with that, we also had a lot of fans at the school, and like I would have interviews with our sports like media team, and like they would show some of our highlights around the school and on campus. And I would try and like I wasn't sure if people would know who I was because first of all, I'm wearing a mask, like wearing a face mask on my helmet, and I'm just another black guy on the team. But over time, I started to realize that some people did notice who I was, and I kind of thought like maybe I need to carry myself a little bit different. Like I need to be a little bit more respectable. And I don't know. After over some time, like I started expecting people to know who I was, and then I had to kind of be humble. Like, okay, I'm not really that big of a deal. Let me just kind of like tame myself a bit. And instead, I just when I saw people, no matter if they recognize me or not, I would still greet them. If you look me in my eyes, I'm gonna like give you a head nod and like smile and just like carry myself like I know who I am and I know where I'm going, even if it's not the NFL, even if I'm not like on the football team. I just took it upon myself to like let me carry myself like I have a goal in mind, like I'm gonna be somewhere. So I share that story because I really think it's important for whoever you are, whoever's listening, to carry yourself when you see people, smile at them like they should know who you are. And just, have that confidence like, okay, I have a great idea who I am. I'm very in touch and in tune with myself. So hey, when you see me, maybe you do know me, maybe you don't, but either way, I'm going to greet you because I'm confident enough to look anyone in their eyes and have a conversation with anybody. I think that just makes you that like almost exuberates confidence, and it's something to be commended. So I just wanted to kind of share that story. Hope it made sense. A little bit of a a rant of my past, but
That definitely makes sense. The confidence is definitely key. So as I think about the saying, "Faking it till you make it," I just think about like for one, within our culture, then for our generation, what it is considered making it, what needs to be achieved, what needs to be done to be considered making it. I and I as I asked myself that as we brainstormed together our notes and whatnot, I don't see a ultimate like like we talked about an end goal or ultimate making it. Well, we can all look at ourselves and say, we're doing pretty well for ourselves, but have we made it? I don't. For me personally, I don't feel as if I've made it. I feel like there's a whole lot more to accomplish and doors to and barriers to break down and work to be done. So, are we looking at that from a societal norm or materialistic achievement? Like, and I think that's saying I'm speaking just I don't know if it has different meanings for other cultures and other people, but I'm thinking just within my own culture and my peer group and people who I talk to on a daily, the materialistic achievements don't consider are not considered of making it.
yeah,
I don't think I think it depicts a similar lifestyle of what we imagine of being as made it, but I think the work is never done. I think there's constantly going to be a new goal, a new want, a new achievement. And I think, if anything, how that statement can help you is if you can take it and create a structure and, really dissect and understand different levels and things that you need to achieve, not things you need to physically obtain, but things you need to achieve. Like if you're trying to become, I don't know, whatever your goal is to become an athlete, a doctor, a lawyer. I think you need, for one, and it kind of correlates to our past topic, the dress rehearsal for your life. In a sense, I think
hmm
they have very strong similarities, but I think it's just like we always say, surrounding yourself in these environments, putting yourself in these rooms, having conversations with these people who you in your mind think have quote unquote made it, who look like they've made it, and really go and get some in-depth information and figure out the pros and cons to this lifestyle or life that you are interested in and that you are presenting as like you're faking it until you make it.
yep,
And then I think about another thing before I carry on.
hmm
The faking it until you make it. You can't get complacent with the imitation portion of that. because what that I
Preach.
think does is it replaces the real effort that you need to apply yourself to actually improve and to really be living the way that you want to. Like the live or live like just learning and living the lifestyle that you are living the imitation style. You know what I'm saying? Don't get complacent with the imitation version because now it looks as if you're doing the norm or doing the full one.
Yep.
And I feel like you're selling yourself short at that point.
100%. Nah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's so crucial. I follow this real estate investor, Cedric Nash. You guys can check him out. He's on like Instagram and Twitter and YouTube under the Millionaire Money Moves tag and or name or I don't know what to call it, but I'm saying tag, gamer tag. He's not a gamer, but something he posted in this little like article about the best ways to get started with investing and working with other investors. The first thing he's put was master investing with your own money and try not to show people the evidence by like doing too much with big houses, fancy cars, and jewelry. He said that's not evidence that you know what you're doing. That's evidence that you might be using investors' money to live a lavish lifestyle. But instead, strong financial statements, banking, and investor references are proof that you know what you're doing. So, like you said, Bryce, when you are trying to approach people and work with individuals who are already where you want to be, that's the proof that you need to show in order to kind of get in the room and be in the mix with them. Like, don't come in looking flashy because it just looks like, okay, if you're crowdfunding, are you using the funds to to fund your lavish lifestyle? What are you doing? I really wanted to just touch on that because that's like exactly what you were saying, Bryce.
The scary part is I can imagine that some people are okay with the looking of at least, and
Hmm.
not as long as no one can find out the real, what's going on in like you said, their financial portfolios and statements and whatnot. As long as I'm portraying this image, some people might be okay with that, and that's like I said, circle back in the beginning. Like when I'm working out and what I'm passionate about, I'm so fixated on myself. I don't want to shortcut myself no reps. I don't want to shortcut myself the input and effort that I'm putting in for myself. So I think that drive has to be within you. It has to be some willpower, and you just I don't know. You can't. You, I don't. I can't do it. I can't settle for a phony version of anything.
Yeah.
I need the authentic. I need the 100% authentic version of whatever it is that I'm interested in or going after in life. I can't settle for the lesser version when I know there's a truly authentic version. It's like, how do I get to that real? How do I get to that real level? So I don't want to settle for the imitation or the look-alike or like there's nothing wrong with, like you said, dress rehearsing and faking it until you make it in a sense, like preparing. When think of faking it until you make it, I think of preparing yourself.
Hmm.
I substitute the word faking it, but as preparing yourself until you make it. That's how the faking, I think, is the settling.
Yeah.
That's how I just kind of put word swap.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really fake the wherewithal. Like you get in the conversation with someone who is a master of their craft in the area
Mhm.
that you are interested in
Right.
or the area that you're faking in, they're gonna spot you from a mile away,
Exposed.
and now your credibility is shot. And now you have to work 10 times as hard as you would have if you would have just been humble enough to do the due diligence, the work up front.
Mhm.
Now you gotta like come back in and really prove to them, like, the faking part, that was just kind of like, a mistake that you made. And now you are really prepared this time. Like you step in front
Absolutely.
of an investor and you don't do your homework. Like watch Shark Tank. I love watching that show because you can tell the people who do their homework, figure out their financial stability, know their numbers, profitability, sales, growth, margins. And you
Mhm.
could see the people who come on and fumble it. And that's the quickest way to get the boot. because
Mhm.
those sharks see right through it, and that's how
Right.
most masters of the craft. That's how they are. They
Yeah.
see it from a mile away. They do this stuff way too often for you to walk up and do anything that they haven't seen.
Mm.
Like it's just not gonna fly. So I'm just curious. Like Rick, you do a lot of interviewing with individuals. What's the red signs, like the red flags that you kind of see or hear from someone who it's just like, okay, they're lying, they're faking it, they're whatever. They're just like, nope. What are some of the signs or the tells that someone isn't going to be able to accomplish the responsibilities of roles that you might be interviewing for? And what are some ways that you can tell someone's coming in prepared? They've done their homework. They know what the expectations are. I guess maybe kind of give us both sides of the tell.
So, for someone that's coming in and interviewing for a job or whatever, something that's interviewing just for opportunity to have a conversation, it's more so understanding where they're coming from, what their interests are, and understanding what captures their attention. Like, why are you interested in working here? And then asking, I like to speak in a way where I'm asking a question to get you to do the majority of the talking, and vice versa. If I'm interested, I wanted just to be able to provide you with a question to be able to for you to give me more information so I better understand. So that's kind of the way that I operate. And just seeing where they're coming from, what's their motivation, what is it that is that they're trying to achieve. And it's if someone that's interested in working for a job or looking for a job, I want to see that forward momentum. Like, are you coming here just for this moment right now? If we're offering this position within the bank, and are you complacent? Are you just comfortable just being here, or are you look? I want you to come in and be interested in taking my job. And I
Mhm.
say that in a humble manner because if I'm hiring you just to come here and work for me, then I feel that you're going to be complacent.
Mm. So you're
I
saying
want
you want them to have like a path, like of I guess promotion, interest in that. Like you want to hear them ask about what's the path to being promoted to something else.
exactly. I want to see. I want you to be curious about excelling. I don't want you to get here, get comfortable, and not want to work anymore. I want to be able to add value to me, and I want to be able to add value to you because you're going to have resources that I might not have reached yet. So if I can align my resources with your resources together, we can collaborate and become more powerful.
I
I
like
mean,
I
it's
that.
think that's important
Hmm.
because I mean, if you think you're in the hiring process and you have an individual that comes in, like you said, that has the mindset and already wants to find the next path, when you're working with someone in that regard, what better comfort would you not have than someone who has a passion for one about what they're doing and would carry a job task and requirement as if they're a manager and like what better like that's the type of energy you want with few more dependable, more reliable, opposed to someone who just wants to be in this role, be complacent. They're like, hey, I know certain stuff is I'm only supposed to deal with this. Anything above my head, I don't even want to touch or get near. But when you have someone that's passionate and wants to grow and excel, they're willing to take on more and wear more hats until they get in that position. And that's almost like faking it until you make it to the manager role anyway. It's like
exactly.
I'll do these roles. I'll take on these additional tasks. I'll burden the weight
Yep.
because I know where I'm going and I'm gonna have that weight on my back one day, one way or another at one day. So why not start and get used to this weight now? Like that's the type of person I would want behind me and who I would want to groom and have on my team for sure.
Yep.
And as a leader, you have to be mindful of not allowing that to be threatening. See, some people will be threatened by that. It is, and
Sure.
just me looking at situations the way I look at it, why if if I feel threatened by that, I'm empowering that. Like now I'm feeling like I'm in lack of because you're trying to act like you're the manager, quote unquote. You're honestly you're making my job. Like I know like everyone knows who has a title, but if
Hmm.
I'm empowering you to feel like you can be the manager one day, then I'm sharing my strength with you as opposed to stopping you and saying, "No, you're not a manager. You can't make that decision." More
Mhm.
so, you have to reframe the story. Why did you make that decision? Not necessarily why did you feel that you had the authority to make that decision, but what did you see? Because I didn't see it. So now you're giving me the opportunity as the manager to see it in a different light that I might not have seen it from my perspective.
Yep. And not only that, like you constrain yourself if you're not hiring people who want to take your job and people who are potentially smarter than you. Like
Mhm.
Elon Musk says it all the time. Like he doesn't feel the need to have a PhD or have gone to Harvard. He hires people who have, and he has them on his team to uplift him and go out and solve rocket science problems. Um, yeah, it's like I guess to kind of get back to the faking it till you make it, some really good books that I highly suggest people, quick ones too. As a Man Thinketh, it applies to women as well. I know it's an old school book title, but As a Man Thinketh is a really good one. Just talks about how what we put our mind to, and how it goes. What you put your mind to and put your grind to, you can accomplish. And Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself are two like relatively short books. Highly suggest people go out and check and read if you have the time to just understand the thought process you have to go through in order to remove your ego and stop being so complacent where you are and really see far out, like where you can go, really get back to who you are and the goals, the dreams that you've had since you were a child.
Mhm.
I highly suggest those two books just because it's so important to see beyond your circumstances. Like you're not gonna grow, you're not gonna go anywhere if you just keep doing the same things every day. It's important that you get out of your comfort zone, go out and get your heart rate high, having conversations that are tough and being
Facts.
vulnerable. I really think that that's the key. And starting to see the results of that. And I hope to continue to share the experiences of that.
Mhm.
And I like to share. I was having a conversation with the gentleman at work, and we were kind of talking. We had this kind of conversation about faking until you make it. He works in the mental health field, and he was sharing with me how the concept of faking until you make it was really over time. It's kind of changed the narrative of the story of what it actually meant. And faking until you make it was more so for dealing with people that were dealing with depression and just had bad moods and had the inability to be happy. And some people kind of twisted in, like, I guess I'll pose this question to you guys real quickly. What is being happy? What does that mean to you? Like, if someone tells you to be happy, what would be the activities you would do just to put yourself in a happy state of mind?
Mm, that's a good question.
Uh,
I'll let you go first, Bryce.
if I were to say, if someone were to tell me to go be happy, uh, it would be an activity, something it's just fulfilling. I'm definitely an outdoors person. I love animals. I like just spending that energy, that significant time with the, my animal, my dog, being in nature, just listening to the world, chilling, like not having an agenda, not having a schedule, just unplugging and unwinding and just watching the world just kind of move gracefully, slowly, enjoying that moment. Those are probably, just being removed from all and just being to myself, listening. Yeah, that would probably be my happy moment.
Yep, I agree with Bryce on all of those. Um, I think just from doing a lot of mindfulness practice, happy is a state of mind. It's not like a place. So just being aware of that, I would try and center myself, kind of like get back to like focusing on breathing, relaxing, removing any distractions that might prevent me from doing that. And then just like Bryce said, kind of take a walk maybe if I'm like at work and I can't necessarily get out to nature. Just kind of start off with taking a walk and just like removing the judgmental parts, maybe listen to a little bit of music. Just like just the simple things, finding peace and the simple things makes it a lot easier to get to the happiness. But if I had like the choice of, okay, I need to do something this weekend that's really going to make me happy, I would try and spend time around my family and yeah, get out in nature. Um, Yeah, something simple as that really will do it for me. Like if the sun's out, that makes it that much easier for me. But even if it is a rainy day, like sit back, watch a comedy, laugh at something, just chill.
Excellent. So he was sharing some of the people that were his clients, they were dealing with stress with family and what have you. So I just commend us that we have a healthy family. It's really great to be a part of this family. But there are those that really don't come from such healthy backgrounds. So for them, they're dealing with stress and they're dealing with conflict within the family. And for them, the fake it till you make it was like if there's an art, they have that one family member that's coming in with the negative comments, and they were trying to break down, like not taking it personal, not reacting to those comments, and just like put yourself in a happy place. And there were some people that they felt like, okay, so if someone's such coming in attacking me, should I just be smiling the entire time? And that was their impression of faking it till you make it. It's like, no, we have to have these activities to put yourself in place, or just remove yourself from that equation altogether and not be involved with that person until them themselves become healthy. Or as you grow as an individual, you can kind of redirect that energy. Don't accept whatever they're dropping and delivering to you. Be able to redirect and understand that's something outside of your control.
Yep.
But let's create a delivery and a method to be able to shift their mind. And just us as people, as we interact with people, if you, like you were saying earlier, if you greet them like, yeah, I know who I am, I have somewhere I have to go. If we initiate that communication, you have the ability to kind of lower their guard down just a little bit, because now it's kind of an indicator like, hey, I see you, how's it going?
Hmm.
How's it going over there, brother? Just having that simple initiation to see that I see you, even though there are some people that don't want to be seen.
Yep.
But I said all that just to say that faking it till you make it was more in the mental health realm. And then as people heard the phrase, it kind of shifted. It's like, oh, if I buy this car, I'm gonna look like I'm rich, even though I'm really not rich. Or if I wear these clothes, I'll look rich. But the secret that was missed in all that is that the rich, they own those businesses, but unfortunately, they're really not wearing it. But they might be because they're owning it. And the secret behind that is they're earning money off what they're wearing their own clothing line. And that's what I really like our generation nowadays, is that we have a lot more people that are promoting their own clothing lines.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been
And
seeing
so
that a lot too.
like with technology, you're able to reach across the world and find it somewhere cheaper to make your own clothing line. Now it's just giving us empowering us all to become creators.
Yep, 100%. I think something just like going back to um, that book that I mentioned, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It really talks about setting your intentions and embodying the emotions, and that's how you start to transcend to the new levels that you're trying to get to. And kind of like what you spoke on right there with like not letting people get you worked up or giving them the power to make you happy. It's really about understanding, okay, I want to be a real estate investor one day. And I want to, have 8 figures of like my net worth. So now I need to start to study influential figures who have achieved those goals. And maybe there's different type of profiles that you can follow. Maybe there's the very business casual sort of real estate investor. Maybe there's the corporate real estate investor, and maybe there's just the house flipper who's taking it to that level. Now you have like different options that you can kind of like picture yourself in. Like, I can't really see myself as the corporate real estate investor. I don't feel like, getting all the licenses and certifications that you need to do corporate real estate. And maybe I don't even want to be the house flipper. I really want to like be a little bit more established and organized, whatever it may be. So now you kind of like get more specific about, I want to see myself as the business casual guy who can dabble a little bit in both worlds. And from here, now what does that person typically do? Because people are oversharing, but there's a lot of value in the people who are really being effective going out there and making shit happen. Like now you can truly picture yourself just by looking at how there's so many day in the life of a business casual real estate investor. Like there's so many YouTubers and people on social media who are sharing this sort of content. So now you can get real specific. They will break it all the way down for you and you can put your own twist on it. But I mean, that's like a good place to start. It's better than you've ever had, better than humans have ever had in time. So once you can get specific about your intentions, now you can embody the emotions of, okay, they wake up, they seem relatively excited. Maybe you aren't the type of person who wakes up just super excited, but you see how they kind of start their day. And maybe they are most effective when they start calling people around the afternoon. Cool. You don't have to be an early riser. You can wake up at 10 a.m., but it seems like they typically go work out before so they can have their blood flowing. Okay, it's probably a good habit that you can start to implement into your daily processes. So you kind of get where I'm going here. It's just a matter of understanding what sort of emotions that you need to embody and the intentions that you need to have in order to get where you're going. So don't play yourself. Like it's as simple as that. Don't try and like do some long shots and be someone who's a night owl up all night thinking that you're going to be out here, making real estate deals. The world is asleep at night, most of the world. Maybe if you're like a developer or a coder or, someone who's doing something that doesn't involve interactions with other people as much, sure, you can make all kind of stuff happen in the middle of the night. But like, you just have to be realistic about your expectations. So I just wanted to kind of drop that in there. Like that's the breaking the habit of being yourself. Like there's a lot of people who have habits that just do not fit where they want to take their lives. And you can't cheat yourself. You gotta treat yourself to the best opportunity. That's all I got. That's all I got, y'all.
I feel like I touched kind of spoke to everything I had on my mind as well, man. It's definitely a great topic and conversation with you, gentlemen.
Yeah, like always, man. Like always. Rick, you got anything else, man? I appreciate you proposing this topic, man. This is a good one. We're gonna keep firing away. These conversations are gonna keep happening. I hope there's some value found in this. Eventually, we're gonna start just chopping up these videos and little nuggets. I know the human attention span is shrunken substantially, so sometimes we just gotta take little sound bites. But family, friends, foes, whoever's watching this, hey, share a comment if you feel so obliged to. We appreciate it either way, whatever kind of feedback you might have. But no matter what, we're going to keep coming back. We're going to keep providing value because one day someone's going to find something in this. And if it's just one person, I'm happy. I'm content with that. And I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Like always.
Like always love, man. Great conversations, opportunity to get together. Even when we're not here together, we're still one. So I appreciate the unity and the ability that we're still here with each other.
Straight up. Consistency is key, man. There's great things that have been built. What do they say? You don't hear a tree grow. You don't even see a tree grow. You might come back 5 years and like, oh shit, that's that little shrub that was over there. Like,
yeah,
man,
exactly.
Great
see
things
all that
happen.
work is doing in the dirt.
Great
all that
things
work is doing in the dirt.
Yep. Great things
in.
happen behind scenes, and we're just gonna keep making it happen, fellas. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Ricky, happy birthday again, man. I should be able to catch up with you this weekend and get my birthday licks in. I got a whole lot.
All right, for sure. I don't know if you're ready for that tussle, but I'll be around.
You know I'm always down. Let's go.
See y'all gentlemen later, man. Love y'all, man.
Great one.
Love y'all. Take care.
Love y'all too. Take care.
Peace.